pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God, thank you for this day. Thank you for this meeting. Please bless it. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Roll call.
Yoder,
Yes.
Cowherd,
Here.
Harville,
Here.
Elbert,
Here.
Venable,
Here.
Davis,
Here.
Atkinson,
Here.
Young.
Here. All right, thank you. Hearing of citizens' comments. Shall we go for it?
Elizabeth Davis, Ward 2.
Don't forget to get close to the microphone. Please.
Actually, I'm here on behalf of 6 to a dozen people who have all come to me with the same question. Why is Boonville or somebody not putting on fireworks this year? And it's come up because, and we've been told, because it isn't safe to have the fireworks at Kemper. To which the response was, funny, it was safe in May for the event that they had in May. So they were kind of, these people, because I kind of work for the paper and I come to all these meetings, they think I have a lot more pull than I do. So it's just like, okay, fine, I'll state your case. And there's a lot of people out there that's real unhappy with it. It's safe in May, but it's not safe in July. So.
Well done. All right.
We've got some more.
Sorry I didn't know your name, otherwise I would have said it. Please come up and tell us.
My name is Kristen O'Brien.
Hi, Kristen. Welcome to the council.
I'm Kristen, and this is my son Sebastian. He's 4 years old, and these are some of his friends. And TJ. Sebastian is here today with a big goal and a dream in his heart for a playground. And as he is nonverbal, he has trusted me to voice his concerns and requests. Sebastian is the youngest of 4 kids. He loves to play outside and go to the playground, and swinging on the swing set is his most favorite activity. Rarely does a week go by that my family isn't at one of the many playgrounds in Boonville. We love the parks, we use the parks, and we have a regular play group that meets at the park playgrounds. The Boonville parks are well maintained, clean, and safe, and a wonderful experience for neurotypical, non-disabled children. But there is nothing for Sebastian to play with on any of the public playgrounds in Boonville. There are no adaptive or wheelchair swings, no inclusive equipment meant to be enjoyed simultaneously by children of all kinds of abilities, no accessible play structures, there are no sensory-friendly experiences for neurodivergent children. We go to play every week as a family and with friends, and there is nothing for Sebastian. ADA standards are only bare minimum requirements, antiquated ideas to comply with. There are many adaptive features that can enhance accessibility. As a community, we need to recognize that having playgrounds that don't provide opportunities for every child at every ability is not something that we are tolerating anymore. For a child with disabilities, their best cheerleaders are their peers. They need to be able to go to their local playground and play with their peers and not sit beside the play structures and watch their friends play. Our town desperately needs accessible and adaptive playground options that allow children of all abilities to learn acceptance and inclusion through play. No person should experience a barrier to participating in community life because of a disability or a limitation. An inclusive, accessible playground can be a tangible way to demonstrate a community's commitment, morals, and empathy to citizens of all abilities. In the U.S., finding playgrounds that accommodate multiple special needs can be incredibly challenging. By incorporating inclusive design into our park playgrounds, we would be distinguishing Boonville as a welcoming space for all families and visitors. I recently learned that Unlimited Opportunities, Inc. serves around 90 families per year. This is needed in our city. This inclusive playground is an idea that Sebastian and I have been talking about for basically his whole life, or immediately following our first trip to the playground after he joined our family. That first trip with him opened my eyes, and I've been compiling ideas and gathering a committee of fellow parents who are ready and willing to participate however they can provide this for our community. This includes fellow parents of children with disabilities and many types of special needs who will bring unique perspectives when planning their inclusive play space. Sebastian's current and former therapists have offered their advice. I would love to be able to have the City Council and Parks Department's support and guidance on this, to be able to meet and discuss all options and then work together to achieve this. I could be here all night listing the ways that I want to change the world for my son and his peers, but this is something I believe is 100% achievable, and I know the people of this community believe in this cause too. If any town can make this happen, it is our town. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on Sebastian's behalf. He loves to be heard. He is very motivated and loves projects. So we hope to show our kids equity by giving everyone access to the same experiences regardless of their abilities.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Hi, my name is Paula Stern.
You'll need to get close to the microphone, please.
Okay, sorry, I don't have much of a voice, so.
The
but
closer the better then.
Okay, how's that?
There you go.
Okay, the reason I'm up here is because we forgot when we talked about our concerns for Santa Fe Trail, that we didn't give you all the petition. So that's my mission tonight. So that you know what the concerns were, that you know what the solutions were, that will help out. Hopefully this is enough for everybody.
Yeah, you even addressed it to me. Look at
Yeah,
that.
I did. See, you're the mayor, right? Until otherwise changing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm gonna give you another one in case, because now everything is together.
Okay.
Okay. But you can see that we've given solutions. The police have been more active on our road, and that's been great. But when you're only there 1 day or 2 days of the week, and you don't show up again for a month, it doesn't really help. So just saying.
Thank you.
But it did help when they did stop. You know. And I'm sorry, I'll have to give you one. I'm sorry. I'll give you a second one too.
Go past that one now. No,
Yeah. Aside from that, that's it. We haven't gone through all the suggestions and all the solutions, but we would like to, because we're about on number 3. Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you.
On that petition, this is Hessie Watts again. On the petition, you see that we have put that we think signage on the highway would work good. Have I noticed this last week downtown, they put stop or turn signs going to Walmart or down turning onto 87. I do believe that that would work if they would put the signs on the road, slow, 30 miles an hour. I think that would be a great thing because people see the white coming up and they stop kind of to look and see what it does say. I do believe that's one of our options.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right. Item 4, approval of the minutes of June 17 council meeting, pages 3 through 5. Any comments or corrections? and they will stand as submitted. There are no consent items. Presentation of accounts and claims. That'd be page 7, I think.
Ordinance appropriating money. Be it ordained by the council of the city of Boonville as follows. Section 1, for the purpose of paying salaries in various accounts against the city of Boonville, which have been allowed by the council at the regular meeting thereof on July 1, 2024, the sum of $695,717.35. General fund, $248,206.85. Sanitation, $26,743.37. CIP tax, $8,094.09. Waterworks, $132,639.45. Capital projects, $0.00. Wastewater, $104,951.90. Tourism, $18,336.90. Gaming, $156,744.79. Parks and Water, $0.00. Kemper sales tax, $0.00. Economic Development Project, $0.00. The accountant is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks on the respective city bank accounts in favor of persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $695,717.35, being the total amount of money being appropriated. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage. First reading, July 1, 2024, read for the second time this July 1, 2024, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Second reading, title only.
Ordinance appropriating money.
I move that we approve this ordinance.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Good. Roll call.
Hold on, Kate, gaming is larger than normal. Can you,
Yeah, that's the annual distribution to like Howard County Sheriff's Department, Howard County Prosecuting Attorney, all the ones that are on that page, they all just go out this month.
gotcha, thank you.
Good question. Anything else? Roll call.
Yoder,
Yes.
Coward,
Yes.
Harville,
Yes.
excuse me, Elbert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Atkinson,
Yes.
Young.
Yes. Thank you. Unfinished business. Item A, second reading of bill number 2024-10, approving final site plan for Top Dog. This is on page 17 through 12.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri approving the final site plan for Top Dog LLC located at 213 East Ashley Road, Boonville, Cooper County, Missouri, providing an effective date therefore and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
That was page 7, not 17. Questions or comments? First, let's get a motion.
I make a motion we approve the ordinance.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Questions or comments?
I mean, you'll still call her, but she'll abstain.
Right.
Sorry, we're across table talking.
Sorry.
Jeez. Okay, roll call.
Yoder,
I abstain.
Coward,
Yes.
Harville,
Yes.
Elbert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Atkinson,
Yes.
Young.
Yes. That's approved unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Item B, second reading of bill number 2023-11, approving a lease agreement with State Fair Community College. It's on pages 13 through 18.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri authorizing and approving a lease agreement by and between the City of Boonville, Missouri and State Fair Community College for the purposes of operating a community college and associated activities at Science Hall on the Kemper campus, providing an effective date therefore and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Okay, is there a motion?
I make a motion that we approve.
Thank you, Mr. Cowart. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Yes, sir.
Kate, where are we in this lease? How many years have we been involved with this now?
Since 2003.
2003, so we're going on over 20 years? Okay. That's all I have.
Yeah, when 2003, when we first started there, it's when they were in the Library Learning Center. And then when we completed the renovation, they consolidated it all into Science Hall, which is the lease you see today.
Do we have any idea what the enrollment is down there now?
I don't know what it is now. Usually Bethany will come and give me some information, like, kind of at the fall, like what enrolls.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Were there any extra asks on this one or extra space, just same thing?
Pretty much the same thing with change of dates.
Okay, fair enough.
It's a good question on the enrollment, Andrew, because I have a hard time figuring out how they really count it.
Yeah, it's got a very year over year, semester over semester,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it would be interesting to know, just from my perspective, the amount of people that we are educating in some sort
Yeah,
on that
and-
campus.
And I'll ask Bethany, and I'm sure she'll provide it with me, and I'll give you that answer. But I was also gonna say, sometimes they count enrollment, if I remember correctly, not by people, but it's like by credit hour.
Okay.
Because some people maybe take one class, and some people are in there in a full load, so it's like how many credit hours are given over the course.
Yeah, it's a great addition to the campus, so I'm glad that they're there.
Is this like a 5-year lease or something?
Couldn't hear you.
Is this a 5-year lease or something? I see that in 2019 it is 5?
It's 5 and then an automatic renewal of another 5, so it's ultimately 10. It's on page 16 where it says terms and option for renewal, so it'll carry us through to 2029 initially.
Oh, okay, so it's in the supporting documents, okay.
Yeah.
Bullet 2, right there.
Yeah, that was, actually State Fair asked if we would extend the terms. Previously, they were 5-year leases, and I thought I'd rather have them here than not here, so.
It's, like I said, it's a great use of this space, and it benefits local people, so.
Any other questions? Roll call.
Yoder,
Yes.
Cowherd,
Yes.
Marvel,
Yes.
Albert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Atkinson,
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved. Any new business from anybody? Doesn't look like it. Reports of standing committees. Local agency funding, Drew Davis and Andrew Coward.
Didn't see you. No, it was a very good meeting. I think Andrew had mentioned before, it's a very good committee of community members that come together. The presentations were very good, and Teresa put a really good job of putting the packet together, so that's all I had. I don't know if you,
They get in there and do their business.
yeah, it was a very good committee. I know he's mentioned before what a great group it is, and it really is, so.
Yeah, and I was just rolling off, Drew was rolling on, so, yeah, good update. I don't have anything to add to that.
So you guys are off and on.
He's on,
Which
I'm
one's
off.
that?
I'm off.
He's on, he's off.
All right. Any other comments? Item B, Board of Public Works, Drew Davis.
Pretty quick meeting, a couple sewer water bills reviewed, but everything else was in order.
Okay. Any questions for Drew? Okay. Item C, Street Alley and Sanitation Board, Andrew.
I was not invited to that meeting, but I'll get on the next one. So, Teresa, I'm looking at you. I need to get on that meeting invite if you could help me with that, I appreciate it. Thank you. But next time I'll attend and I'll have a report. I'm sure it was great though.
Was it canceled?
Well, there you go. So, perfect meeting.
In Jeff's defense, or Teresa's defense, or my defense, who's ever, we did just roll you guys
I know.
over. so
We're in a transitional
We
period.
gotta work, yeah, we gotta work out that transitional period.
This sounds like a bunch of whining.
Delegation.
Item D, Architectural Review Board, on page 13.
The pages are on, I think, 19 and 20. There isn't any council person that sits on that, but I think I've said this before. This is for the infill there's a residential overlay district within the city. So whenever a developer wants to build a new house in that residential overlay district, there's a committee that views the architectural plan and the design. And so they meet on an ad hoc basis, and they just recently had another meeting, but they've had quite a few, so I think that's a good sign generally. There's been a lot of infill lately.
Is that mainly High Street?
No, it's everything
bit.
I always say from like High Street to Ashley and like 7th to First or even, it's basically, I always say any of the old town, like is how I view it. But yeah, it's a pretty significant area.
I think it's a good protection, Steve.
I'm not gonna comment.
I know.
You've done houses in the overlay district. All the ones on Spring Street would have been the overlay. Oh, but they already were there. Only one.
We had a problem with a Main Street building once.
A different thing. And this only relates to residential too, so,
Oh, really?
yeah.
You having fun yet?
I did that day.
Okay. Reports of city official. I want to mention that I think we're beginning to see the beginning of help on the handicap parking, but we probably could move it a little bit more quickly. So, you know, I was kind of impressed that we left some good space around the parade,
Oh, okay.
and we normally forget. And I know it's not on purpose. I don't have anything else. City Administrator?
Just a couple things. One, I'll just want to touch base that Paul and I have been emailing already with Miss O'Brien, so she and I have been communicating. We're going to meet. I think initially Paul and I have talked about that maybe as we develop Fox Hollow, that would be a prime location for some future all-inclusive park, in part because it's not there yet, so you're not trying to necessarily retrofit something that's already there. It's an unplanned space, but I think we're also open to whatever might small, add-ons, additions to the existing park playgrounds that we can make. So we're going to continue to work with her on trying to make that. And I know she has emailed in her emails several times. She said that she's interested in helping to fundraise and also do that. So I think we're moving forward, and I think that will be a great addition to the community. So we're looking forward to working with her. And then the other thing is I'm going to bring Scott up. It's not on this agenda. It's going to be on the next council agenda. There's going to be a change order on the Main Street overlay project. And I just want to preface it because it's a $60,000 change, which is kind of a big change order, but we've been thinking about the longevity of the road and decided to go in a different direction. So I'm going to turn it over.
As Main Street is, we're looking at overlaying that road. Before we can overlay it, in order to get a good surface that's going to last for a while, we need to solve the problem of what's called subgrade failure, and that's potholes that are out there. And the way to do that is you dig up the pothole and you reconstruct the pavement all the way up, from ground up. So initially we designed an asphalt replacement. In that, it's come to our attention that concrete probably would work better and last longer for that repair. And so in order to give the city the best situation and the best longevity on that road, we're looking at change ordering into a concrete repair instead of an asphalt.
You're still looking at tearing out before you put in?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do a full tear out and we'll come back in with rock. If we got unsuitable material, we'll put in 2-inch minus, which will bridge that unsuitable. We'll come in with geotextile fabric. We'll then come in with what's called type 5, which is a finer rock. 6 inches of that before we put 8 inches of concrete in. And then we'll top it off with 2 inches of asphalt for a riding surface.
So are you gonna, this top surface is gonna be concrete instead of asphalt?
No, it's asphalt.
I'm sorry.
It's asphalt.
Okay, but Just a
The
sub-layer.
subgrade is gonna
It's
be a
gonna
concrete,
Gotcha.
and it's gonna give us a better longevity.
Sure.
It starts where and it ends where?
It's a High Street to Locust, roughly.
Yeah,
Okay.
And there's a few stretches into the intersection on
between,
Spring or Morgan.
Does it go all the way to the bridge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
and there's a really bad subgrade fill area right there at the bridge,
That's
a
what I
large
mentioned.
area.
Oh, yeah.
So is it like parking spot to parking spot or sidewalk to sidewalk?
Inside the parking, or parking to parking, not the actual parking spaces.
Gotcha.
The driving surface.
Okay.
And this that we're discussing is something that like we already voted on, like improvements for Main Street. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, and you
So-
guys approved the contract with the contractor already. It's just
Yeah.
in between this work starting. I think we
So-
just started talking some more about it and
And you're just changing that one
Yes,
thing.
we're just changing the way that we're going to tackle the problem.
Is it like the same price?
Pardon me?
The same price or,
No, it's an increase in price,
okay. Like, can we have details on that?
it's a $60,000 increase, but
52.
52, excuse me.
Yeah.
But we don't have the formal change order at this point in time because right now we have been talking with the contractor to go around and
Okay.
see what the
We're
cost
still
is.
negotiating with the contractor on the numbers. We don't have the formal change order
Yeah.
yet, but we're looking to have this work done July 15th.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it will be, the change order will be at the next council meeting, so I wanted to give you guys a heads up,
Okay.
because normally
Yeah.
our change orders are smaller than that.
Yeah.
So
that's
it's a big
lot.
one. But it's our recommendation that, and for the longevity of Main Street, we don't wanna have to do an overlay sooner, and we don't want
We
this
don't
kind of
want to
road, we don't
bump
want,
or more potholes forming.
yep.
Can you kind of explain to Heather what a change order is? I'm assuming you
oh,
really.
you can tell me later. It's fine.
Okay,
Well, I mean, she's never really,
Yeah.
I mean,
it's basically what it is. You have a contract with the contractor, and it's a change in the scope, time, or cost of the project. Requires a change order.
Okay.
Is this something we would do from Locust to Ashley then at some point when we redid it, like we would do the concrete underlay, like at some point, or is it, you see what I'm asking?
Yeah, well, we already did the overlay there,
yeah.
so now, and they did the crack ceiling, so I think that, I can't remember honestly what they did.
Okay.
If they did concrete, you guys weren't on that
I
project,
wasn't
because it
on
was a
that
MoDOT
project.
project.
Okay.
I mean, we got money from MoDOT, so it was a little different process, but,
Okay.
I don't know how we did it.
This project, we got some, that concrete pavement that's underneath, we have some joints that are actually called reflective cracking coming up through the asphalt. We're gonna cut those out and try and repair those so they don't continue to come through the asphalt with a crack like that.
Okay, thank you.
I don't have anything else.
That'll work. Any miscellaneous? City clerk, sorry.
I don't have anything.
Okay. Any miscellaneous?
I have just a few topics. Kate, can you give an update on where we're at on 4th Street repair? And it was 4th South, 6th Poplar, that big project. Where are we with that?
Well,
You're talking about going up on a hill.
Yeah, so 4th Street was the main initiative, curb to curb, gutter to gutter. And then we talked about doing some of the side streets outside of 4th Street. Where are we? Because that was a big commitment that I know we were doing and looking for funding and things. So where are we with that?
well, we didn't get the grant.
Okay.
So, and, we're not alone. There was, I think they said over 1,000 applicants and they gave 12 projects out. So we're not like the one that we, anyways, so I think we need to go back to the drawing board now at this point in time and kind of figure out what parts we want to tackle, what pieces and parts, and I'll probably come back with a recommendation. I know there was some conversation about maybe just doing a small portion of one and doing the full fix versus tackling all the water lines, for example. I'm also kind of waiting to see, thankfully, since the water department hit our goal, that the ARPA, the wet lead line survey price should be lower than I had also budgeted, so there's some savings there, I'm hoping.
Yeah, that bid opening is this month.
Yep. So that will be another number that we're kind of waiting to see. And then I think once we kind of know where those are at, then I think we'll come back to you with a recommendation on what we think we should work on this year, and likely what we will have to put on the list for next year.
That answer?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
I do think we need to make that a priority, though. That 4th Street's been a problem for a long time, and I'd like to see, generally speaking, just see some action on that area of town. It needs attention
Long time.
desperately, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's just a personal opinion of mine.
Good point.
I had a couple of miscellaneouses. One, we had voted a couple months ago about a house on 11th to demo. Have we received bids on that now, or?
There was a delay in getting them noticed, so we were kind of going back and forth. So everything on dangerous building hearings are tied to the notice period. So the one that you're referring to, the owner was not here. So when we tried to serve him notice of the findings, we didn't have, our process server couldn't serve him.
Okay.
And they don't take our mail. So ultimately, after consulting with our attorneys, we posted it in the paper, posted the property, and sent the letter. And we're saying that we feel like we've satisfied the conditions of the law. At that point in time, we've made every attempt. And that period just came up, I think, last week. So we'll move forward. We may do it ourselves too. We've done quite a few of the demos ourselves.
Okay.
Is it occupied?
Yep.
Yeah. That was one of the questions, and the other one was just a point I was wanting to make. I alluded to it before the meeting, but the anonymous donor for the carnival rides for the children, I just wanted, if they're listening or whoever that person was, I really appreciate that, and I think that type of sentiment is what we need in Boonville. So there's some stuff online, but just all I'd have to say is that, as a, parent of children in this town, we really appreciated that, so.
I've got a quick thing too. In regards to the fireworks, was it the city or the Chamber of Commerce that put that on the last few years?
The Chamber of Commerce, and
Chamber of
following I think it was like in COVID, so whether that was 20 or 21, I don't remember.
Okay.
They moved it to the fairgrounds at that point in time, and actually they liked it so much, that's when they called us the next year and said, would you consider still funding it even if we had it outside of the city? And we said we would. So we funded it for years, even when I think in part when the JCs did it. So, but I could be wrong on that.
Okay.
But so we funded it through local agency funding, and they matched our donation.
Okay, all right, that's what I was asking for was, okay, that makes sense.
So there wasn't any effort. That's a changer.
There was no ask?
There was no ask.
Okay.
May I ask miscellaneous, please? On Mr. Coward's mention of the state fair, some of us, people here in Boonville, have been going to lectures there every Wednesday afternoon at 1:30. Mr. Coward's wife came one day and did a lecture. That way, the place is being used some, and I think it could be used a lot better if some of the people in town would just come around and say, hey, we need it for this. And they're really gracious about letting us use the rooms. So I would just like to say, come visit us because we have a lot of fun. And we're learning a lot. There are all kinds of issues, not issues, but programs that the people in town are giving. And it's very interesting. There's usually about 15 people there.
It's the state fair.
Thank you. Yes, Barry.
Kate, can you and Paul meet about the American Disability Act and see what we can do about this lady for her kids tomorrow, one day this week, or next week?
Yeah, we can meet about it. Like I said earlier, I think in the long-term view, I think the Fox Hollow Park that we have out there has great potential for a fully inclusive, all-design park. And then there might be some opportunities at Harley or Rolling Hills or Kemper to add features that make it more accessible, but they're probably going to be a little smaller in scale or space, whereas I think Fox Hollow, we can look at what they would call a fully inclusive park. But I'm happy to talk with you about those. I'm not an expert on them. But both Paul and I are excited to work on the project, and we think it'd be a great addition to the community, so it's on our list to work with, Ms. O'Brien as well.
Okay, thank you.
It's kind of a bad way for it to happen.
It is,
Very.
it really is.
When they tore up the parks over there and, by the pool, that would have been an opportunity to instead of just replacing what was there, to do something like this. But it never came to anybody's mind to do that. So I'm glad they came, and I'm glad that they showed us.
I just thought maybe this year we can put it in the budget for a handicap park in our public parks. You know what I mean? And we come up with some prices or something that we can do for our kids.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Steve,
Motion to adjourn.
is there a second? Second. All in favor, stand up and go.